Hi there, welcome to my channel, The Revision Desk. The purpose of this channel is to have a casual discussion about various topics, have revision, understand concepts clearly, and to have a free flow of understanding regarding several topics of the competitive exams, as well as you can say any part of the NCERTs or general discussion of various topics regarding polity, economics, current affairs, many things, environment, ecology, etc. In this channel, you'll be receiving my explanation, which I have learned, and I'll be sharing with you, which you can listen to it and add on to your notes, as well as it can be a common discussion among us. Okay, so today this video is regarding what I have learned in my class of political science, the first class. Okay, because I am also preparing for competitive exams. So, what I have learned in the first class of the political science or polity. Okay, so this class was about the philosophical understanding of the constitution. Okay, so what is this constitution? Constitution is a set of rules that governs citizen rights as well as institutions in a country. Okay, so what was the philosophy of the constitution, which we need to understand, is uh, the intent of this lesson. Okay, so constitution means every country has a written constitution, but some countries don't have written constitution, and it is the basic set of rules that govern certain principles of citizens and institutions, and it plays a very important role in providing guidance to the individual as well as to society. Okay, so constitution is a political document as well as it is a legal document. Why? Because it provides enforcement and directions to the institutions and to the government. If anyone doesn't follow what's in the constitution, they are liable for sanctions or penalties. As well as the father of a constitution, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, has envisioned to have a social democracy in our country. So that's why the constitution also called as social document. Then, why is now democracy became very important nowadays? You can say from the last 50 years or 50, more than 50 years, more than 75 years, the power is not vested in one particular person or one particular organization. It is governed by society. The rules of law are determined by society. That's why democracy is very important. Constitution can impose restrictions as well as, and uh, judiciary has the ultimate authority to safeguard the constitution. It is a guardian of the constitution. Okay, judiciary is a guardian of the constitution, and the government has generally three you can say three limbs or three organs: the legislature that makes the law, executive that implements the law, and judiciary that oversees the functioning and working of that law and functioning of the legislature and executive. So all the institutions which emerge from the constitution are called as uh, constitutional bodies. Okay, like the Election Commission of India, UPSC. These are they derive the power from the constitution, and settlement of any dispute between the government limbs is given by the method given in the constitution. And we know that India, our country, is a highly vast cultural country, and social democracy is very important than the political democracy. So what is our society? Our society is a multicultural society with various religion, class, and lot of cultures are mixed here. Therefore, the constitution ensures that we have mutual tolerance and mutual respect. It guarantees fraternity, unity, and integrity. And our constitution is not caste blind. Okay, it addresses the concerns of those lagged behind by giving affirmative actions to those people to lift them up. So it's guiding the benefited people to help the one who are lagged behind. That affirmative actions given by the constitution is called as reservation. Okay, and the constitution with its preamble and the directive principles of state policy, it ensures in making a society an eg- egalitarian society. What is egalitarian society? It means a qualitative society, and everyone works for the welfare of society. It is not partial. Okay, and the first function of constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allows for minimal coordination amongst members of the society. For example, how the elections to be conducted and what is the process, like that. So basic rules is the first function of the constitution. Then the fundamental rules that we discussed, right, in the, like, it is given in the constitution. These fundamental rules are decided by the members of the constituent assembly. So on we'll be learning and understand what is constituent assembly. Okay. And the power of decision is given to people. How the people can vote and elect the representatives. The power is given to people with the help of their vote. Then in India, what kind of mechanism do we have? We have a British mechanism. Like, we have a president, he or she is the head, honorable president is the head of the state. He's elected indirectly. Okay. Then next level of head is prime minister. He's the head of the government. So he is the main person who has the decision making authority. He chooses his council of ministers, okay, and he forms the cabinet of ministers. He will then ask the president to appoint these members, okay, and we were thinking, okay, between when this form of British mechanism was adopted, was it adopted immediately? No. The makers of a constitution, while trying to decide which one is good, they even sought to take the American mechanism or the British mechanism. In American mechanism, the president is everything. He is the head of the state, head of government also. But in British mechanism, the president is a ceremonial head or head of the state, and prime minister is the head of the government. Therefore, the interim government in the year 1946 by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, they choose a parliamentary form of government. Okay, and a cabinet is part of the council of ministers. Okay, parliament has council of ministers, right? In that, cabinet is a part among the ministers. So cabinet is not the whole parliament itself. Parliament has several ministers, of which cabinet ministers are one set. And we need to also understand, in India, each function, judiciary function is different from legislative and executive. Like, legislature can even sometimes do functioning of executive. Executive also sometimes can do functioning of legislature. But these two, like executive and legislature, cannot do the function of judiciary. Similarly, judiciary also does not have will not do the work of legislature and executive. It can direct and oversee. This separation of legislature and executive from judiciary gives the balance of power. Okay, then uh, another important part of you can say the function of the constitution is to have or to impose the limitations on the government so that they don't trespass the limits imposed by the constitution. Okay, for example, the constitution gives rights to citizen, the fundamental rights. So government cannot make a law which will override or which will curb the fundamental rights. So the constitution allows citizens to have liberty, freedom, religious freedom, cultural education rights, constitutional remedies, and equality. So state can't interfere with these rights, especially with the fundamental rights. But the state has to ensure that all law and order, public morality, unity, integrity is enforced in the state. That is the functioning or role of the state, of the government, not the state, but the entire government. The only exception where fundamental rights can be restricted is in the case of emergency. Emergency happens in three situations: where there is a war, proclamation of emergency; when there is a failure of ruling by the government, so the presidential rule will come at that time; and when there is a financial emergency. Only in these three cases where emergency is declared, the fundamental rights can be restricted. Some questions which can be food of thought is that you may be listening to the word EWS, like economically weaker section. So I am also searching in this answer because I too have no clarity. I'm also still in the process of learning like you people. So what is EWS? Is it a caste or is it a class? Then, is reservation a preferential treatment or is it an exception to equality? Or is it a part of equality? I'm repeating again. Is reservation a preferential treatment or it is an exception to equality, or is it a part of equality? What is it? Okay, so we need to find answers for these. You can give in the comment. Then the constitution gives us an enabling framework so that we can, or which is required for the equitable society. Enabling framework means which can be modified and which can be used for the benefit of society. Okay, that's the reason why we have this upcoming census, because the enabling framework is there. We have upcoming census which helps in the caste determination. Now, Constitution also aims to end the discrimination as per Article 15, and also any discrimination like untouchability, which is abolished under Article 17. It's a criminal offense. If it is, if the prohibited or abolished aspect is being continued by any part of the people, any section of people, or by any person, they will be liable for legal, uh, you can say, legal proceedings. Then, uh, why the constitution done that? Because everybody must have equal opportunity to live, and the concept of liberty is enshrined in our constitution. Liberal, democratic, secular, liberal, democratic, secular, federal, and egalitarian is the underlying principles of our constitution. It enables a national unity and integrity that leads to common brotherhood, that is fraternity. That's why we need to deal with all kind of social barriers. Okay, with that, the social justice can be achieved and the national unity can be secured. Just society, we are focusing on having a just society where there's no concentration of wealth. Like welfare comes prior to anything. The preamble of the Constitution, the fundamental rights and directive principles of state policy have ensured in the Constitution to get the welfare aspect into priority. Okay, then what we have sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and republic. These are the part of the preamble of the Constitution. So, sovereign means we are externally independent and internally we are supreme. Socialist, social welfare is more important. Secular, respect all religions. Democracy, we know the people have the power. And republic. Okay, so this initially we had only the sovereign, democratic, and republic. Then in the 42nd Amendment, socialist and secular were added. With this, we will get the constitution helps us to achieve social democracy, economic democracy, and political democracy. We have that freedom of choosing, and also it enables us to get the fraternity. Then, when was the constitution adopted? It was adopted on 26 November 1949. Then it was implemented. This 26 November is also called as Constitution Day. Then it was implemented on 26 January 1950. That day we celebrate as Republic Day. We need to understand from the whole aspect of constitution that the rights of individual are greater than social justice. Means we try to give more value to the individual rights and benefits. Of course, social justice is also taken into account, but priority wise, we see that the rights of individuals are not taken away in a negative manner. Okay, then enabling provisions of the Constitution gives us the common identity. The what we have discussed, that the preamble shows all this aspects, right? So it helps us to get the common identity that we are citizen of India. Okay, and Constitution has given the decentralization of power, like central government, state government, panchayat, like that. Then this Constitution helps us in getting democratic transformation. So we are a democratic nation, which helps the government to change after the terms in a peaceful manner. It gives us the rules how the transformation must be done from one transformation or transition from one government to another. And social fabric is well taken care by the constitution. Then we need to understand constitution limits the power of government. That is the reason why we have the freedom of individuals in the nation. And because of these principles in the constitution, the state keeps a principal distance in the matter of religion within citizen. The state does not interfere in the religious matters of the citizen.